Make me bigger, Kevin.
You need to center yourself and be okay with your size, Michael.
Make me bigger, Kevin.
Michael, are we doing this or are we not meditating?
Quick meditation, couple of deep breaths just to get centered. We're going to go in for 4, hold for 5, and exhale for 6. Oh, now that we're all centered and grounded, my location reminds me of a quote I once heard. The only peace one finds atop a mountain is the peace they bring with them. Yes. Okay. Let's come out of the meditation. And I'm big now. I love that. Thank you. Thank you for making. When did you make me big? Ask us questions about life.
You made yourself big, Michael. You're larger than life.
Fade that shit out, man. Fade that shit out.
It was a hard exit. So,
hey, man.
What kind of green screen shit are you in front of today?
I know, right?
It's supposed to be.
That green screen is a replication of a ski resort in Utah called Alta, and it's my favorite place on earth, other than like going over to your house for dinner when your wife's cooking, because she's a fabulous cook. Erin, cook more dinners for us, please. Up here getting a little fresh air, man. It's been good. Where are you? What's your green screen? Looks like a wall of pictures and a weird chair.
Yeah, I'm in the Bahamas.
Do you have something new on your couch behind you?
Do I have what?
Something new on the couch behind you.
No.
Next to the green man. What's over your left shoulder?
That's a pillow. You know, I don't know if those people that know me well know that I collect old horror memorabilia, like Universal horror stuff from the 30s and earlier even.
Well, and you went recently to a show in California to get a painting from an artist known as
Terry Wolfinger. I'm a huge fan of his artwork, and I have 2 of his pieces. You really can't see it the way that they're situated here, but I have an incredible Bela Lugosi as Dracula on one side of the wall, and an equally incredible Boris Karloff as Frankenstein on the other side of the wall. And then you can't see what's all, there's a whole bunch of shit. But thanks for asking, Michael.
Yeah, I think we should do a tour of the super residence.
Everybody watching can come on over anytime you want.
Put your address up.
Yeah, let me put my address up.
Hey, Joe, man. But hey, dude, I owe you a phone call, man. Sorry, I did get your lovely message, and I can't remember why I got crossed and didn't call you back.
They just came to our show couple weeks ago. We had a great time. Thanks, Joe, for coming. Love you guys. What a great group. And here he is. Oh, he said horror. Yeah. Oh,
horror, not horror.
Say horror. Yeah, there was no horror collection here. But Froggy is back with us. Thanks for joining us, my friend. I hope our friend Patrick joins us today. You're on a tight time crunch today, right? What do you got going on today?
I am. I've got, this resort here is like a family style. So everybody has breakfast together. Everybody has dinner together. So
it's a swingers thing, but you forgot to bring Joe, right? Like,
it's not a swingers thing. It's a family place for sure, man. I've been coming here since I was 13 years old, 12, 13, like 1982, 83. And it is the best powder on the planet. Our guest that we're going to have today, he just got back from Switzerland.
Hold on. You said you've been coming here since you were 13 years old. You've been jerking off there that long, and it's the best powder on the planet. We've relapsed into the Coke thing again. Like, are these cues for like some fucked up boy weekend, or what's going on there?
I'm not going to say I've never masturbated in Alta. I'll admit to that, but I've never done cocaine here. You ski on cocaine. What's
pineapple.
What does pineapple mean? Is that a pineapple thing? How do you know that? You know pineapple means swingers?
Of course, everybody does. Come on, what are you talking about, man?
Anybody who gets to see our podcast,
you didn't see our guest's documentary all about swingers?
No, I don't think you did a swinger documentary. So
it's great. I fucking love it. It's a good film.
So you're playing this? You got 3 shows this week, or because you were out of town? You did a corporate.
I don't have shows this week. Yeah, we did.
Why not this week?
Because we took our drummer just built a house here in Vegas, and he's moving this week.
That's right.
So we took the weekend off so he could get some space. But my parents flew in, and they're hanging with us, and we're taking
Margot and Mike.
Tomorrow we're leaving for Disneyland, and my older 2 kids, I'm flying into LA, and we're gonna have an entire family trip for a couple of days at Disney. It's gonna be beautiful.
Fantastic, man. That's great. Yeah. So
our local Vegas swinger saying, especially if the pineapple's upside down, don't ask Sonia how she knows that. Hey, Michael.
Sonia.
So this orgy that you're going to be a part of tonight, did you bring lotions and oils, or did they provide?
I like it dry. I like it rough. I want to cry.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I like anal bleeding, but it's really a big part of my whole experience.
Wow, you went right there. I was just talking about massages and stuff.
I did listen. So the first day I got here yesterday, and I skied a half day because I flew in the morning. By the way, we went and saw Tyler Henry on Saturday night at the Palms. You know, the medium guy.
Yeah,
mind blowing.
That shit, right? You think that shit's real?
I'm skeptical, but I'm open to all spiritual concepts. I'm open to there's more. I really truly believe there's more after this. This can't be it. But it was amazing. But as a result, I got 4 hours sleep, hopped a plane, 7 a.m., got up here, and I skied a half day. And my very first run, and I'm a pretty good skier. I've been skiing my whole life. And,
let's how good you are.
Well, yeah, I'm a good skier. I can ski pretty much anything. And so the line for the warm-up run, if there's a warm-up run here, it's all predominantly expert here, was too long. So I elected to go on this Wildcat lift. I go up the lift, and I forgot it was a warm-up run, and I did like maybe 40 or 50 turns, and my left ski, there's so much powder up here. My left ski, and I was just floating. It was so great. Oh, my God, I'm in it. This is amazing. And my left ski did a dive, and I did a forward somersault. I tumbled forward twice. That ski came off. My left ski came off, and I ended up in a little baby pine tree with my right ski still attached and underneath me in this deep snow. So I fight 5-6 minutes to get the ski off, and then I have to climb up to where my ski is. 30 minutes I spent. This is my very first run up here. 30 minutes I spent digging my way out of the snow, finding my ski. You can't find your ski. It goes in the powder. And then I skied, I think I did 2 more runs, so 3 runs total. I was done, completed, finished, shot, leg shot, everything. Came in, got a massage, and then had a nice dinner and went to sleep. And then our guest today showed up. He showed up today. Our guest that's on the show is actually here. He's my ski buddy. And with that,
and he's in the other room.
Well, he's getting oiled up for me. That whole.
So listen. So Froggy said you're like a regular Michael Phelps or Lance Armstrong. I was gonna say you're more like a Sonny Bono on the slopes. Are you? Are you skiing with like a helmet and all that shit?
Oh yeah. Oh no, I like to ski in the trees, and I've been wearing a helmet now for probably about 20 years. Yeah, nice. I was wearing a helmet when helmets weren't cool. Now everybody wears.
Do you go out there and ski when it's dark? I'm a non-skier. I've never done it, and I don't know. Is like the culture like you go that they put lights on the mountain and shit, and you can like ski at night and stuff?
There are resorts that have night skiing for sure, and I've done it. I did it in Vail. Yeah, people do it. It's not really a huge thing. It's not my thing, man. You can only stay out in the main run. They only light up so I like to go off into the trees and look for the good powder, the untouched powder. Virgin powder is what you want, man. Wow. I'm gonna take you to Lee Canyon before the season's up. They just got some snow before I left. Excuse me. Should I mute this?
What are you doing?
It's dry up here, man. I got a humidifier on here.
Before we run into the next segment, and I know we've got a time crunch today, but I want to be very proactive. Did you just mute that?
I did, because I needed a good cough. Unrestricted. Go ahead.
I just wanted to show you something. I don't know if you fully know the deal here yet, but hold on a second.
You got Reckless in Vegas at residency?
Well, I mean,
no.
I wish I could say that was the case, but it is not. Anyway, go ahead. I'll bring this in a little bit.
Well, so do me a favor. So we have our show in March coming up. I want to just mention that there is something that came up. At first, I was talking about you just make a reservation. That's super small, right? Supper Club, Vix downtown. It was a reservation thing. Now it's a prepaid thing. People go online and they pay. It's $65. Dig this. There's fees. They're doing it through Open Table. There's an 18% service fee, right? Which, whatever. But it had my name next to it. So it said Michael Shapiro, and then it said service fee and 18%. So that's going to get changed. But
wait a minute. What are they trying to? What's going on there with that?
Yeah, because they're trying to do it like this, like Myron's, right? Where you can pick if 2 people come, 2 other people can sit at the table with you. So they're going to fill it. It's going to work, but I didn't know about the I didn't know about that, but I do have something that I'll put up because you're not doing it. I think I know how to do this now. There it is. There's the flyer. We're gonna Paige Traffello, Ronnie Marone, Chris Nichols, Jack Roth, and myself. It's going to be a fun night. We haven't played since October of last year, so this is going to be a really cool unplugged night. I would like everybody in Las Vegas to get their tickets now and come. Again, super small, so hurry up and get your tickets before the room sells out, which it will. And that's my self-promoting shameless plug. Now,
okay, hold on. Before you do this is what I wanted to do. You and I have not talked about this publicly yet, right? I think it's something that we should share publicly because it's important. But we have started a new brand.
This is news to me, ladies and gentlemen.
Is it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Stop it. Really?
Is this the sex toy line, or is this the hats for small people line?
No, why would this be a sex toy line? Who the fuck? Why are we going to have a sex toy line?
What's taking so long, man? We're running out of time. Come on.
Sorry, it's right here. So this just opened up on Flamingo and Blue Diamond. This is our new spa that Michael was so kind to put all the capital up for.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you can. We have a vast menu of services and all the. We already know that he likes his dry. But you don't have to worry about that when you come to our Lavender spa. We lube you up real good, and it's very comfortable. And
what hours are you available to work? If somebody wants to come in and have Kevin Suker actually.
The short time we've been open, we've had nothing but rave reviews.
Yeah, I've been out of town since it's been open. All right, with all that, I'm going to bring on our guest. So this is a guy that Seth Shore, who brought Reckless in Vegas to Las Vegas for the first time in 2014. Introduced this guest that I'm going to talk about right now, and we became fast friends, and that doesn't always happen when you do business with people. And he came into town to do a documentary called Second Chair, which is I don't know when it's going to come out. We'll talk about that, but he's a writer, director, filmmaker. He's known for Fight of the Living Dead, Left at the Rio Grande, Marisol, which I saw, I rented it. He told me it was, I don't know if it was Apple TV or what I saw it on, but it's fantastic. It's about immigration. Great story. He directed that. I Got a Monster is a documentary he did about, and I don't know if it was in Baltimore, but it's about a corrupt cop. He was a hero, and then he was stealing from everybody. And then the documentary that he's working on, which is going to come out soon, which is Second Chair, all about Las Vegas, the history of the music scene in Las Vegas. And he's a published author. He's got a new book coming out. I think the book comes out in April. It's called Mount Forgotten. Without any further ado, this is my friend Kevin Abrams. Bring him in. You want me to do it? I got to bring him in. There he is.
There we go.
Yeah.
You got this lovely backdrop of a hotel room bed.
My ski buddy. What's up, man?
I did. We got some runs in today.
Yeah, we won't talk much about skiing because Suker doesn't ski, so he doesn't understand. But
no, you guys can talk about whatever you want. I'm down to listen.
Talk about this chemistry that you guys have. Have you played together? Is there band history?
He joined us one time.
Yeah, I elevated his show one time. He needed me one night, and he said, "Would you come in and do this song by the Everly Brothers?" And I started singing U2 over this Everly Brothers song. And I got to be honest with you, that fucking killed, dude.
So what's great about Kevin's sensibility of music, because he's well versed. I mean, producer, he's managed artists and traveled the world, and his show is fantastic. But his music producer sensibility. Mm-hmm. So when we did the arrangement for the Everly Brothers, all I Have to Do Is Dream, U2 was the inspiration for it. So I never talked about that with Suker. And so when he came to do it, I don't think he even did a sound check or even did it in sound check. But when we started to do it, he started to sing a U2 melody over the top, and it was just perfect. And that's the kind of musician that Suker is. So we're asking the questions here. So you shut the fuck up. And here's the deal.
Let me tell you though, I really think you can use some keyboards in Reckless.
No.
Hey, can I tell you something? As a keyboard player, I sit and watch his show, and it's missing. You're missing the whole ball right there.
A little thin, this power trio thing, dude. Come on, fatten her up.
What about? It's not a trio anymore with the horn section. You know, the horn section. There's no room for keyboards.
Horns don't count as even musicians. I mean, come on, let's be real.
Falcone would love to jam with Kevin.
all the guitar parts were originally arranged for a trio. So you got to make some adjustments to squeeze in a keyboard. I am going to do something with I'm dying to do this with Kevin. Now that we have all the cameras set up in the studio, we're doing some cover stuff just for some live stuff. And I'm begging him to come over. He's turned me down 3 times, and I got all these great songs that have keyboards. He's like, yeah, I don't want to do it.
I don't know. I'm feeling like a Luck Be a Lady, Steely Dan style. I feel like there could be a vibe there.
You know, my way, our arrangement on the hard way, it has a piano in it. Did you know that, Zucker?
I didn't. No.
Yeah, there's some keyboards in there.
I stopped listening when there was no keyboards.
Anyway, back to Abrams. Listen, man, we're up here skiing. We did the same trip last year, and it's an awesome thing. But you just got back from Switzerland. Tell us about what that was like. You did a 3-day trip just for your 50th birthday, and
we're trying to hit the mountains. We're trying to hit the mountains before I can't do it anymore. I mean, it's insane. It was a lot of travel. It took me 23 hours to get there, and I was there for 2.5 days, and then I came back. I got a little bit of bad luck landing in LA with a delayed flight, so I didn't get here till a half day later. But I mean, who's complaining about going to Switzerland to ski?
Nobody's complaining. I just wanted to put you in a bragging situation. That's all.
Yeah, I'll brag. Fondue in the mountain, like lovely ski bunnies dancing to techno for après. It was a party. It was. I mean, it's special.
So Kevin lives in Los Angeles with his beautiful wife Pam, and of course the fires. They were affected by that.
No, really
didn't lose their home. Why don't you tell us what was that experience like for you, Kevin? Pretty scary, huh?
I mean, my cortisol was shot. Like, it was brutal every day. Kevin, number one, we were just dealing with updates about the fire, getting ready to crest our canyon. So we live in an area called Topanga, which is north of the Palisades, south of Malibu. So we were literally sandwiched in between the 2 major fire zones. And within that, we live below this major ridge line, which has a pretty legitimate history of being a stopping point for a lot of fires because it's flat. There's sort of a bit of a plateau there, so the fire teams can get up there. And this burned right to the ridge line. And the benefit of it is that if it stops there at Topanga safe, the negative is if it broaches it, it would have gone up in like a half an hour.
So you had to get out of there. You were evacuated.
We were evacuated that morning. We had about 45 minutes to pack everything up. And
you got his ski stuff, by the way. That was a priority in his
I got my ski stuff. It was hard drive, ski stuff, art.
Guitars?
Of course, I brought 3.
Yeah.
I left 2.
Yeah. So scary experience, and you guys you made it through, and now it's a rebuilding effort, and but you're in the film business, and so many people have been directly affected. And what's that going to look like moving forward for what you do? I
mean, it's heartbreaking. The past 2 years in the film business has been absolutely brutal.
I can't imagine. I've made one film in my life, and I backed into it, and it was the weirdest experience, and it went on to win the 3 Oscars, and it just was odd. It was just the weirdest.
I mean, I want more information on that. What
Dallas Buyers Club, dude.
Oh,
yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I was part of the executive producer team and uncredited. I made the deal at the last minute to make the film actually happen. We raised the last $5 million within the 11th hour.
Brenner.
Mm-hmm.
We went to high school together. It was a company.
Right. The company I worked for was called Truth Entertainment, and we have the first title card in the opening of the film. I learned a lot.
You guys have another.
Probably know Craig Borton as well.
I know Craig Borton, Happy Walters. I had met through that whole process he was at Relativity at the time. We did the all that stuff.
You guys have something else in common.
It was just strange sort of time of life.
You have something else in common.
What an unbelievable filmmaker. I mean, I love that movie. I think
it's great.
There's that one scene where McConaughey steps into the flowers, not the butterflies, which I just think is like one of the most naturally poetic moments in a movie in years. It was just a beautiful scene.
Listen,
I remember that scene.
I read the script on a plane when I was given it, and I was sobbing.
Yeah.
And I remember getting off the plane, and I don't read a ton of scripts. I've read a handful, but I said to my wife, I'm like, wow, read this. And if this doesn't win Oscars, nothing wins Oscars, in my opinion. But it was something special.
What a launch, dude. Tough to go back into the business after that opening year.
I haven't done anything since. We did TIFF, we did Cannes.
I mean,
very, very long story that I'll tell you offline about how my involvement went, through the rest of the film. We were on location in New Orleans for the principal photography. It was magical. It was really cool to see that entire production kind of come together. I went and did the director's cut and watched it in LA, and had, I was like, I'm not a notes guy, even though I had the opportunity, but at the end of the day, I support the director's vision. I'm a creative. So it's like, the fuck am I going to say that's going to make any sense?
Keep doing you.
To a guy, right? So,
well, and like any great movie, and that movie made a ton of money. Kevin got screwed on the deal, and you've been doing movies for how long? And so the business is brutal. I mean, so you're the documentary that you and I met on. What is the outlook for that? What's the plan on that?
We're excited. We're getting right now to roughly fine cut. There's a couple more sort of high level, I guess, interviews that we're looking to try to snag to give us a little bit more of the historic and objective persona. But basically the film chronicles the history of the background musicians in Las Vegas. And basically the notion is that Vegas was ideally once this musical mecca that was a heaven for all the players. It was one of the first places in the United States, if not the world, where gigging musicians can go, not have to travel, build a family life, had this amazing community. And we sort of chronicle what that history is. And then it dovetails with the strike that happened in '89, how the industry came in and sort of, decimated a lot of what was happening and restructured the way that music was sort of enjoyed and presented in Vegas. I mean, Vegas was known for being that musical mecca. I mean, the Rat Pack, all that type of stuff. And after '89, they no longer contract. I mean, you guys know this history. They no longer contracted orchestras at the hotels anymore. People couldn't have like long-term deals. The notion of having background orchestra, even for players, wasn't a requirement. Before that, based on the union, it was a requirement that all these people would come in and they would have to employ and use these people. During the '70s and '80s, it became a little bit more ad hoc, and they'd bring their own players in, and they would try to always renegotiate away some of those things for expensives. And also just, creatively things changed. There was a lot more dependence on digital and electronic music, and the need for 6 horns and, multiple and all that type of stuff wasn't required.
Well,
I'm sure the rise of the DJ also didn't help all of that shit too. Like how.
Well, Sucre came to Vegas. He brought his family and his band to Vegas for residency, and he was producing it just like Reckless did, and kind of a rude awakening. It's a tough lesson to learn. Like both of us had that in common. We were both naive to the idea, and we learned a lot from it. But it's changed. It really has changed. And you guys have something in common too. Kevin's Docksiders is probably one of the greatest yacht rock bands in the world, and the guy that did the documentary recently, Kevin. So
yeah, we went to grad school together. He was actually my editor in grad school, and he's just a phenomenal, filmmaker who accidentally backed his way in directing on docs, and he's been doing great. Garrett, I'm actually godfather to his first son, and I remember when he told me that he was pitching that project, and I was like, oh my fucking God, how is A, nobody done this yet, and B, like, you're about to capture lightning in a bottle. Because
what did you stand in for Michael McDonald? Because you after I watched that documentary, which was great.
I had a lot of Michael McDonald.
Dude, Michael McDonald right there.
Pictures, especially when my hairline wasn't as
the thick hair you had, man. But
and then the other one I get is Cat Stevens. It'll be funny. I'll just be I'll get a random text and it'll just be an album cover.
That's funny. So, Sucre, do you have anything you want to say to Garrett? I mean, I felt like you guys should have been featured. A lot of the photos and the live stuff that they used was the band. I forget the name of that cheeky band, whatever that. What are they called?
I don't know their name.
Yeah, whatever that other yacht rock band.
We don't talk about that.
They captured an interview of Kevin that it was brief, and it was in the beginning, but like
I was in the opening credits in like the 4-minute mark. He used a quote that I said on a news interview here. It's like, it's the music I listened to when I was in the dentist chair, and I'm sitting there in my captain's hat. I sent Garrett a note. To his credit, I introduced myself after the documentary came out. I sent him an Instagram message, and he was very kind and very sweet. I introduced myself. I said, "This is what I am. I would love the chance to chat with you." And he was like, "Oh, I know who you are. Here's my contact information. If you want to chat, that would be totally cool." So I haven't reached out yet. But I have other ideas like related to this phenomenon that is yacht rock in like a film sort of television thing. So it's cool to see people invest their creative juices into a project like that. For me, at least.
Are you competitive with Garrett at all?
No. I mean,
too bad, because you could make it. You could come up with the new yacht rock documentary and feature the Docksiders and blow that other one out of it.
I mean, I'd be happy to do it regardless. Garrett doesn't play music, so I think there's still an element to the yacht rock phenomenon that he doesn't get to experience until he actually tries to play a Steely Dan song. Look at
it's true. It's so true, right?
I mean, you love the music, and then when you actually sit down and try to play it, you're like, oh wow, this is an interesting count. Like, what is this, a 5/4 or something?
I love the fact that it was made, right? It helps what we've been doing tremendously. I mean, when we started the band in 2017, 2018, really, I had to explain to audiences all around America what yacht rock was. There were certain diehards that kind of got it. Yeah. Now I step on stage anywhere in the country, and it's changed.
It's a wave.
I don't have to use it in our opening. Does everybody know what this thing is? And more than half the audience didn't before.
Yeah. Right? It's like with the Grateful Dead, you guys have literally become lore. Like it's part of the American songbook at this point.
How long will it last? Is it forever? Is this gonna go on for?
It is 100% forever. And I just had this conversation. Sorry, I don't mean to bogart the talk.
No, I love talking about this because I actually agree with you.
To me, it's no different than the older generation that lived with doo-wop, and it became the doo-wop of into their 80s and 90s, right? I think my age group, and I'm 54, grew up in the 70s and 80s with the music there. It will be the music of our youth that makes us feel good and reminisce, and it's very therapeutic. Our audiences night after night are so thankful and so complimentary on how the music continues to make them feel. So I don't think it's going anywhere.
And I also think the musicians, and you guys can speak to that better than I can, like you guys get those songs in your hands. Who's not loving playing them?
Yeah.
I mean, besides the musical memories you have associated, just like the composition of that stuff is unbelievable. Like it's just, there's truly an art form that was happening that's incredibly unique to pop music.
The saddest part about this whole thing to me, if there was anything that I think deserves a deeper dive, and I know a lot of those people that were in Garrett's documentary, all these stars that created it. I worked with a number of them in my career prior to being in a yacht rock thing. I think there's, and I think it was obviously echoed by Donald Fagen. There's this feeling that it's a joke, right? Like that the documentaries that J.D. Risner and those guys did to create that satire YouTube video was a joke, right? It was a satire, right? It was a pun.
Yeah.
And I think the original guys that created that music have such a negative feeling. And what I've talked privately with some of those legendary musicians, they hate it. They hate the fact that it's called yacht rock. They don't like the movement, which I don't know if it helps or hurts what it is, because I think it could go both ways.
It's an umbrella that is beneficial to the overall understanding of what that music represents.
Right.
Because like before, how do you qualify that as a genre or some sort of collective identity? But you hear it and you know it. You just didn't have anything to really refer to. I mean, there's Kana, there's country, all those different types. It's none of that.
Right.
And I guess, yeah, if you were introduced and somebody feels like it's mocking you a little bit, like you either get the joke or you don't. I mean, one of the things I love about the doc was like what I learned about Christopher Cross, because you see him and he feels like your sweet little uncle, And then he's telling you how he wrote like ride by the, like the ride what's on the wind, like tripping his
right,
off on like a car ride
Oh
between.
no,
Right,
Steve.
and
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many cool. Obviously, I understand the arc of a documentary, and I mean, you can't get into the minutia of some of those recordings, but there's just like there are so many stories that are like almost worthy of their own, conversation pieces, like everything else. Yeah, Shapiro.
What's up with that? Going back to your profession, there's a lot of young people that are aspiring filmmakers. What do you say to them? How do you inspire it? It's like, don't count on making money at it, or what's your recommendation? I mean, you want to inspire people still, right?
I mean, I tell them the truth, and probably it's something that you guys sort of like pass.
Talk them out of it.
I don't have the heart to, because I actually believe in art.
Yeah.
I basically put them on the spot. I'm like, listen, if you can't enjoy the process and you're in this for the expectation, this is not for you.
Yeah. So what's the greatest film ever made?
I mean, it's always difficult question.
Anyway, I don't really care. You can hear his answer with that.
You fucking cut him out. I actually want to know what his greatest film is.
So bring him back in. Do you want the answer to that?
I literally was like, holy cow, I'm excited to hear what he says.
He's so versed with film. I'm going to connect the two of you guys. You guys can, you guys need to know each other. He did say about the documentary, he's coming back to get a couple of sweet spot stuff in there. Maybe there's room for you. I don't know if you're quite big enough for that, but we'll see. I mean, come on, man.
Absolutely not quite big enough.
What I love about your story and in that documentary is you did come to Vegas in the pretense, kind of like I did too, and what that was like. That's the reality. He's got a lot of footage of that stuff, but you guys would be great. But you guys are going to get along great, and I want to definitely connect you guys. So listen, I'm going to dinner. Where are you gonna end it? Yeah. Thanks for joining, everybody. Tuesday we'll be back Tuesday.
Where are you going to dinner?